How would you like to supercharge your Krav training? Hi, I'm Paul Simos from Krav Life, and here are my top 3 tips that you can use to get better at Krav Maga. All right, let's break it down. Tip number 1 is practice slowly. Okay? So don't go all gung-ho on your techniques. Start off slowly, almost like you're moving in slow motion. Do it slowly and smoothly, and this will actually help you learn the techniques faster. If you try to go too fast, too soon, what's going to happen is you're actually going to slow down your progress, right? So if when you first learn a technique, you want to break it up into steps, right? So you do like step 1, step 2, step 3. Then you want to do it as a nice fluid motion, but you still want to do it slowly. All right, slowly, methodically, with purpose and direction as you're doing it. Then you gradually start speeding it up, right, until you can handle full speed. This is how you learn to get full speed training in. Okay? Tip number 2. All right, so tip number 2 is write things down. Right? This is what I do. This is what works for me. I use our Krav Life Krav Maga Training Secrets journal, right, which has like a bullet journal in the back of it, and I use it to write down my notes. I like mind mapping things, right? It's my preferred method of writing down the equipment, or writing down the techniques. But the main thing is that you will forget 50% of everything that you learned in the first hour, right? But within 24 hours, you've forgotten 70% of everything that you've learned. And within the first week, you've forgotten 90%, right? So that means every time you go to class, you're going back and learning again, right? So if you write it down, right, it helps solidify it in your memory. Plus, you get the bonus of having a reference manual in your own words for you to understand. And it has been so valuable in my Krav training and learning different techniques throughout the years. And I've been using it for 20 some odd years now, through different martial arts and learning Krav Maga. It's what's helped me assimilate the techniques as quickly as possible. And tip number 3 is use visualization. Okay, now when you're in a class setting, you don't really need to use visualization unless you're just practicing combatives in the air. But when you're practicing combatives or doing a combination, right? So even a simple jab, cross, hook, don't just be doing that stuff in the air. Don't be waving and flapping your arms and legs around. Use your imagination and understand what you're hitting. Imagine an opponent, right, that you're actually combating against, right? And then at home, use your visualization. At home, take the time to go over self-defense in your head and really, really, really visualize it to the point where it is real for you, okay? Your brain can't really tell the difference between something that you've practiced physically and something that you've imagined vividly. Right? So there's lots of anecdotes and stories, but the one that comes to mind is the story of where they did a test on a group of people with the basketball. And none of these people ever played basketball. They taught them how to shoot free throws, and then they divided them up into 3 groups. Right? The first group had to spend an entire month practicing every day for 10 minutes throwing free throws. The second group was not allowed on a basketball court or to touch a basketball, and they would visualize practicing every single day for 10 minutes. And then the third group was a control group. They weren't to touch anything or do anything or even think of basketball. Okay? After the month was over, they got them to throw free throws again, and the results were actually astounding. Right? The control group didn't improve at all. Makes sense, right? The group that practiced every day, they improved a heck of a lot, right? So they improved a ton, let's say 80%, right? Well, but the thing that surprised the researchers was that the third group, or the visualization group, they improved almost as much as the group that actually physically did it, right? And by this research study and other research studies, we now know that the mind is a powerful thing. So you can be practicing your Krav Maga all the time, right? So if you have your notes, you can follow your notes and then visualize and really practice and get the techniques down, so that the next time you practice it in class, you're that further ahead. All right, so I hope these tips help you out, and I hope that you do them. If you try out these tips and they help you, or if they don't help you, just send me an email or write it in the comments and let me know how it worked for you. And if you've got some extra tips, leave them below, right? And I'd love to hear them so that we can pass them on and help each other. All right, this is Paul for Krav Life. Take care.